nti me mo ache na me mo akwa ban fa mbra Nnawotwe dwumade so ewa Adom TV. Nnawotwe ye twa ne ho aba beto ya o se etumi sinkonya. Na ye dwundwe oman Ghana ho hwe se ekwan ba ne nyina ye fa so betumi ama oman Ghana fa ne tampa fra. Ne yin se Galamsey ya de a edi enya. Eno ami ho eye drone footage bi a online TV video to omo page so about Buttre, and I was sad. The Buttre River and Eurapo nemono so how it to me a damage pono. And I was asking myself how. And here fire. I'm a Galamsey I say environment in the Then also na President John Dramani Mahama, Asia civil society organizations, religious leaders, journalists, and other stakeholders say on bedroom kwaya aban betumi akon Galamsey ho ense be na baye ene ebesi nkonya na ya adwenedwene ho yewie no nso a nanse abaye say ye tinsem about sexual harassment in your schools no dodo enche bia na ye hu say KUST assistant headmaster GS are suspended because video baby to Jana one akoda bi ade omo ye no GSV say enye ye nyina so ye hwe bi ehu say enye enche ya so na another school and so ya suspend another teacher because of such compromises or no any some young student female student be omo ye bi say lessons ben any betumi asua fees and emo we nyina mu e bedi nkomo on the show, but we'll start the show with, of course, the leading topic in Ghana, Galamsey. President CSO to Scotia and some by ye videos in the Yaba. You better answer some so. I will ha nemum ye into a hotel, Nayambra Yaba. You better videos on half a Yaba. My introduce me guest no Ediatro, Niashe, and Pensem Nasi. Na mention was watching training here, and to a Facebook wall. Adom TV, Najao commenting or Mefa. Na makan emobia so etumi atenia also wadwen a wo kire on the issues ye battle ye be betra so memo akwa babiom emfamra na watwe dwumadie eso na menka wo se if ye twa ne ho e wasempa 94.7 FM. Well, ye shall share with Galamsey sensem na onim se Galamsey no se baby out when bia, I'm sure by now you have a position, and all of us should have positions. There is no neutrality in Galamsey Sensem. It is either you are for or you are against it. Ibedi hun komo ha na me introduce me guest ma wenne. Kabori Mahmoud, a Land and Natural Resources Ministry PRO. Or Kabori, bibi aboko there. Yo. And they no never share same because Galamsey no there. Okay. Aaron Asiedu Entry, a member of the MPP's National Communications team, is a law student as well. Good morning.
Good morning.
Maybe I will call there.
Namudi, Namedia Che, because I have Brabu Mubedri, na yes, Monswatri, and one problem, Aka, by Adom a Modimudi and Yanko Pondia May. I was also there, Joe. Was my Joanko, was remember that time, Becca Galamsey. Zabe Base Galamsey into one count find your topic and yes, sir. Into Inquire. Into Inquire. Galamsey into Minque. Any say queer. Say no, yeah, or I conana a day in I swear see a count myself. So it's part of the problem that burdens me. What is because okay economy no can very fair, but so anka economy there. Oh, economy very famous there. And I will fear by mu 10 months ago now on the Ebeka say ye ho akire and wouldn't me free by mu ntie na me ngu o ntumi kasa ho akire me na metumi akasa ada by mu na me dey o be bora na me dey say wona wo ka abai mu na me dey me esua ni me esua dey ntie ro dey say a control who are starting obrupo nko apenso back as you move. That's what you mean first of Galamsey. Anyway, control. Yes, I see a Galamsey sense. I've known President John Dramani Mahama encounter with the CSOs. I baso and no. The question is to be by.
Enshema CSOs ene omampani John Dramani Mahama koshiemu ne se womo efa kwan a womo ebebre ye Galamsey ase ewo mamu a na nhyiemu no ekoye pa dwumedie no ase no omampani John Dramani Mahama editudwa se ensema national security edi atu nenim no enche se aban no ebetimi declare state of emergency enimanimu ya
state of emergency. You know, yes, I have the power to do it, but the president acts on the authority, not only on the authority, on the advice of the National Security Council. And as at now, this moment, the National Security Council believes that we can win the fight against Galamsey without a state of emergency. I want to assure you that the day they advise me otherwise, that, boss, now we need a state of emergency, I will not hesitate in declaring a state of emergency. But we do still think that we have the powers to be able to win this fight. And as we deploy more troops and we apply more resources to the fight, I'm sure that gradually we'll begin to see that we're winning the fight.
Osan editudwa se wono de o jidie pa se Galamsey womo be kwetia pa na o mahwe se nsu awodo a ese no nsu ni nyina eni ebete.
And so I want to personally assure you that as president, I will also continue to put pressure on my lands ministry and all the ministries that are involved in this to make sure that we're able to hand over to our children and our grandchildren an environment that our great-grandfathers handed over to us. They gave us a beautiful country with a lot of forests and trees and beautiful rivers. We should not hand over poisoned rivers and desecrated forests to our children and our grandchildren. And so we will continue to fight. I believe that we'll win the fight against Galamsey.
Abanda de twem omampani Akufo-Addo breso ana omanfo edisumbo ebo Small Scale Miners Association se womo ede $200 million akwetia eye kwambone omanfo faso tu egudie ye Galamsey efri ye afi 2017 eba afi 2024 ohwe sana montu enina echia abaya abetena so nsuso omanfo eka Galamsey hu ensempa wentino omampani eshia eye CSOs edi afa kwan ya omo befa so etu Galamsey ase na dwumedie no ase no osofo a ono na hwe lands and natural resources imano ama kofibua edi atudwa se aban no ehia sika kese pa no de akwetia ye Galamsey.
If you saw my presentation, I call on corporate Ghana to come to our aid in supporting this fight against illegal mining. For example, if I give you how much is required to reclaim 7,500 football fields, probably the whole of Ghana's 1 year budget has to be spent on the Galamsey fight. And so clearly, that is really a problem, and I thank you for bringing it up. But corporate Ghana must come and support us collectively in this fight, especially reclaiming our water bodies and dechemicalizing program. It's a very expensive undertaking. And so I want to make sure we bring that up.
Omampani John Dramani Mahama editudwa se womo behwe na budget womo edi ashim womo pejam sene womo betimi akwetia ye Galamsey.
Lessons learned were that in the next wave with the formation of NIMOS, that we must deploy the military on a sustained basis rather than when we make some wins, we withdraw them. But it comes with a cost, because if you send troops and station them permanently to guard the forest reserves, we must feed them, we must provide them with fuel, we must give them vehicles and all the logistics they need to be able to do that. And so that links up with Franklin's question about budget. We need a substantially bigger budget than we have currently to be able to win this war. Happily, budget hearings have started. The budget for next year is going to be presented to Parliament. And my expectation is that the Minister of Finance will give a much bigger allocation to this fight against Galamsey.
Abra MCE ene nananoma hemfo ekoye nhyiemu ekokasa se enye no krakra won sema ye nuanom Joy News de betu dwafa kwambone omanfo bi efa so etu egudie e wosan patem ho no nanum a ne nuanom Joy News fo nso akonya emfoni bi a ye China fo ne Ghana fo bi a wona ka won ho abom tu Galamsey den e wosan patem ho omanfo wo motete obi a wo mani abre pa fa kwambone omanfo etu egudie bi eye enuanom a wo mo eye kwadwumai na wo mo de adesede ato aban nanim se onyo momo apa esanse omanfo ese insu awodo a ewo sam patemu ano ana wo mo ade ye kwadwuma
free say na nanom chichi kura e beto ye na me na me de kura ye nte Galamsey se me hu no TV so na ne enim se bi betimi ato ye wa ha nje ye da ho na do ne ye che se machines ye adwuma ye dede pai afedi ade echi ne enkohwe aye nsuo nyina na ase esan se ete ama bia nkwanta ma hiniti ne se me kwa ahemfie makwa ahemfie akobo mama ne da the fan na ye pm ne se ti hu se excavator bi aba ha me ma police e me cho na me se mate
se dia anu eden pa master se dia mobile ya moguso amohwe de ekono site no mo site no bebre ye de ya wura be bebre enura dc no mobile ha no enna me gidi se omote se doctor so ate no it site machines no mo de bebre asisi bebre yasisi ye beko baby bebre a mo de machines na asisi no machines na enura na jo o ma anya night anopai o mo nye day work international se ene ko pon se mobile nsu no na atifindo han no on se ani ate kakra ba na afo no de duruka ko mmemu twa ho ese de ganu se nya no odin pa na se etuo utifie ko pa wu afuo mu a anwumre etuo mututuo pei na se obi ba no be kan ya se wo mo se akonfo ba beto ahye mo so ntie wo so mututuo bo mo site ho ban
Galamsey de ha bebre esan se ya ha no koko ne eni nyadoa enkuruma mako no na se nsu de begusu nyina ni nyina asai nti yesere Galamsey ni de edi awu pa
yenya ne tie se bi ni kurumu ya
doka ye bia sini se hu woboa
ya se ni okan ye bia se Galamsey ni anu se hu oboa Galamsey no de ohun e so okan ma member studio na me nhyase ewo eye Kabori Mahmood so because ono and a PRO for the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources Mahmood medase se what me beka ye ho ewo studio ha Galamsey ya ye kan wasem sisi anu bebi amomote no e ho nsem te san
India member abaso no pay ntia oni wapanfo nyina wakwanso nkoso ntia watifo no wahwefo no ajibre na adaje na edi kumade eno kre se Galamsey ho nkomo no nyankomo a eye mede eye wode eye gadafo nyina de na nkomo ya ma no ho mene so akopem se mampani ye se ehwe na wono a ono abene mu no nyina yinhia enye nkyerɛkyerɛ enya no babaye sɛdeɛ bɛyɛ obi etirimunya ne fan a wɔhono baabi efiri ba baabi ebedu na mpekura no baabi epɛsɛ yɛkɔ nti nura highlight of nura dwumadie ni nyina was painting the picture as it was sɛ e ba mu na fe nneɛma edi agu akwan mu ebesi enne enne botaya nti yɛde saa nneɛma no nyina agu akwan mu and interestingly say now reporters ewo hobi
yeah
the depth to which we sank no idea unia kukudro uni odo ma ya woba mebu ewo saa okon no a de ashells because for instance fa ho she owura makofi bu anamu say wa walk to the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources now opening first report I did ma on say Mr. Minister welcome obai no aso ye no abehweso no Galamsey asay kwa ebru to aduanan asase be ye park e boso boro mpemu so ni ahanum de ni nyina akọ Minister obansu no a hyewase no a ye water no Galamsey asay no amanne no potoye no nanam mpemu num kopem mpem dumienu 5,000 to 12,000 NTUs so obanas ye the way nyina ekrew as a sector minister it tells how deep this country had sunk as far as Galamsey was of concern but you say dijawa na e dia swell and nti e buy no na even though there was the need to tell the story as it was but na who be here say ye near money manim ya to turn the waters blue and then our forest green ade ba ko ye hu say ama o man Galamsey we amanyo semo mfie nwotwe course firi mu a idea the friend lack of awareness about the dangers of this illegal mining.
But why do you always limit to the lack the past 8 years? When Galamsey caught beyond 8 years?
I feel be any Muslim because my sister station Anna Equitra and Cobra in 2016 and Ultra and Cobra in 2024. And when you look at the two pictures, yes, they were all river with the same river bodies under a Galamsey situation, but it looks different.
But Osha the same river, January 2017, and somewhere is it April or May 2017, as Adom, the photographer.
The point I'm trying to make is
because
that
in January it was so bad. The same river and Cobra.
The point I'm trying to make is that from 2009 to 2016, 8 years, the impact on Sahara Suono from 2017 to 2025, in 8 years, the impact on the same Suono, we're not the same. We're not the same.
Okay.
And until now, I hope here say yes, sir.
Okay.
Lack of awareness. Okay.
Me call ahoma no so me nana Samuel nana appear no security analyst me ndi enkomo sami me da say wadwa ne na I know one of the instructive statement from president is according to the Security Council you bet to me winning against the fight against Galamsey without a declaration of state of emergency, and that in the knowledge of the Security Council you bet to me we don't need the declaration of state of emergency. Only saying is that it, and maybe a drastic measure should be the way forward. Nana Bajo, kindly unmute na yentienia on air kano. Yeah. So what if you have unmuted and no kasana yentie also
can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, yes.
All right. Me chairman yanum was studio hono. Na me gidi is yero mampani John Dramani Mahama. Ono no ye mampani wo man musisia di tumi ahye nensa. Thankfully no so owo bo no mo tunifo eba ban bon security nhye mu a na ose omunyan country ne say baby aye wo yi esese wotumi declare state of emergency enti ebe den ama no say even though owo tumi no de na o declare state of emergency a enye yi sisi ai tanse o twen say all the other measures are your war, including say your dear soldier for able to Galamsey for so sir. Na ya teaching microphone bi. Edi omagina emrenim na ya bom kwedu na sabi edi mratwe omaso. Enti etrese afutu a sa memmen ye security advisors di president no. Omoda Sukachran said there's more opportunities ahead of him to say obey me ama yetu Galamsey ase. Mr. Bisa say one more omutu omampani fo no. Omonya hwe yie na. Oma mayen and disappoint ye ho as Ghanaians. Me nim baby kro omo pese ekodru ansana omunim die mu no omaka se afeidie ye declare state of emergency a eyeyi enra mitie osojani pani ba ko a em se 9 months no oda no na ne kasa mu no kan se wonu mu a ese nsuo ene yen forest no ono no hu omo se omo ye terrorist na obekwa kutu omo so sa na wokutu omo so sa e wa nibre so esanse sanfo yi e ya mambofo security nsemu no yenya ka bibi se e ye terrorist ana se omambofo a na trese adrum pempen so se ye di anibre etu wɔn so sa ebia na yɛka nsɛm no yɛahyɛ n'ataadeɛ state of emergency borɔfo kasa no yɛde ahyɛ n'ataadeɛ na ayɛ biribi mu ɛnso nyaadeɛ biara na menkyerɛ aseɛ wɔ ha deɛ nti nyaadeɛ biara ne state of emergency ne sɛ deɛ hia ne sɛ wobɛka sɛ mabane all form of small scale mining indirectly illegal mining no ɛhyɛ mu bi no sɛ wonya kokoduro ka sɛ what declare ban ɛwɔ saa small scale mining no so for a period maybe 1 year 2 years na nhyehyɛeɛ a mofin sɛ mode bɛyɛ adwuma no mo start call back to the table to sketch it again ɛbɛboa ama motimi afiri aseɛ wɔ baabi.
But Nana, in 2017, yeah, for 6 months, it was extended. In fact, 2019,
20 months.
Yeah, but now I brought 1 year. So, looking at results during that time, I would say I repeated the same thing in terms of banning.
Okay, Mami, and draw some sharp analysis.
Okay.
2017 to 2019, any idea dancers are by and not so declare ye call 2020 election moon. Utuya honka painfully, not buying a party as so far the bitter blow of it. And ye beyond 2020 now face political will and as soon as so party need journey home, a binding so journey home. Dear year or how Cassia Sami was illegal mining fight imuno. Minu na yenim. Soja ni, police ni, any woman no man penisha musia so suvoing obia nim say. Ye how no Cassia no, the will and commitment I debate to Sanamon. About to say, met my on authority based on my experience, my research and study extensively. They are all yet very lackadaisical or one we are hesitant and say Musu Bono no bien a numuko kase what the ban up to small scale mining so Busumi Sia Cramponoa. One may tune for back catcher and say obetia painful price in the next general election, which is 2028. And the party will not allow him as president and as government. So omubekwa kutuya sa painful and bitter price no. Enti ye massage situation no. Na yen try to say ye be ye dimra ye see ye dimra na ye adwuma all those kind of things. But the truth is that baby aye kika kono media se me hu uye Ghana ni na utna TV so radio so now we try to massage this illegal mining activity and the serious effects are enya where so no. Now me yam shishimi san say yen so say ye kwaye air say ye food security so e be yasem. Human security is also under threat. And I am sure yen so sa Ghana ye bedru mrebi na ye benya militants. Amoma Soretia Ghana, it will come from these illegal mining activities because se in Crawford ekuta akondia ye etuo bebre ni senti ni so mufin say sa illegal mining ya ye tusu say ese so mo nso de ani edene ebo wo mo ho ban na mo hye wo mo ho kena na mo face omine security organizations no ewo nwura mu ho enti one more finance no totu ma won bro mo to excavator ma no mo totu nso ma won enti anhwe ye bedroom rebi no saafo yi ebefa unconventional way bi atreni wo mo ho na fe security for police for na soldier for kwa omo ne omo di besi ani ho na ya nhwe ni ya na mine no ase through this illegal mining activity say na yahunu miamia amaya hodo bebre so no a group will emerge. Okay. Not just I'm sure you some rebels and some militant group will be a bit difficult to fight them.
Okay.
And you hunu in Temoa, me Judy ye say, as I said, Nimu ya Nina Yajiton, na yɛpene so sɛ ɔmampani yɛserɛw obiara nka sɛ ma yɛntu agudie wɔ Ghana ha sei na mmom no sɛ yɛbɛtumi anya botaeɛ no yie na yɛnhyehyɛ bɛkɔ yie a akwan tuo wotu na woduru baabi na sɛ woyera kwan a wosan so hwɛ map no bio na wafiri aseɛ in the right way enti ɛdeɛ nti yɛn withdraw na yɛma back to the round table na yɛn nyinaa yɛnhwɛ sɛ institutions are responsible Minerals Commission, EPA, Forestry Commission, ɛne wɔn aka nyinaa no yɛntena ase na yɛnhwɛ sɛ nimdeɛ kwan wei soɔ ɛne ɛsɛ sɛ yɛfa so na yɛma yɛagudie no ɛso ba yɛn mfasoɔ sɛ yɛtumi yɛ saa nneɛma no a megye di yie sɛ wɔn abafra kakra no ekuta tumi anaa license a wɔn yɛ legal small scale mining no yɛbɛtumi afishi wɔn out yɛbɛtumi identify wɔn esan sɛ locations wɔn kɔ nyinaa no same yɛn nkurɔfoɔ no nim hɔ Minerals Commission nim hɔ EPA fo bɛhunu hɔ Forestry Commission bɛtumi ahunu am yɛhunu hɔ no
yes so nana once I mean twa no ɛno a president nhyia on CSO hyia no meet deliver your expectation na woni da kwan sɛ nka bia meeting we de bɛba no or to you on sakai
to the large extent I'm not that satisfied with president's response any measures in the sense that the same thing I'm saying we didn't come back and say state of emergency a last resort and now sans to reiterate the same statement security for one hone a foot to a modern on yewra minister in charge of lands and natural resources and so ekasai I must be very frank with you I'm expecting more frantic efforts first and foremost so mampeni anya kokodro say we ban small scale mining so that we can get to the roadmap at least for 1 year near streamlining Neoma. I'm afraid I'm not being a prophet of doom. In the next 1.5 to 2 years it might be worse than what we are seeing.
Okay.
Because the commitment as if it's not that strong.
Okay. Nana Madase, but let me come into the studio. Kabore, you were on the floor. You've listened to the security analyst that
yes.
If we don't take care, things will get out of hand.
Opini yesa brabo mabi unu nante a okohwe ase no. Duruwa no ya hwe. Okay. The same ban you declare for almost 2 years.
Mami kaza me more 5 minutes in addition to what you've done. Why?
My chance simple.
What I say we be 2 be
for almost 2 years. It declare ban. It declare moratorium against illegal small scale
mining, yes.
So papa ben debre. So it is not just about declaring and going back. What declaring there? So nanya shall say it. Quiet now shall say ahabamuno. Then all left a ban. What's next? Enunti ena suadie akomudie abanda dano hwiasia e ban ni no. Ene yesi. Yenya de korono a. But yen fancy sheye nyina nhemu a yen san ko ba bia ifri bae.
Je ben na model.
Sheye no bi ni say now sustain deployment of these military and security personnel. It said ye declare ban because the most important resources I person ye boho bind here ye declare ban. And the sense you know and say and say quiet non say these two major resources so ye declare say a restricted security zone. What do you mean? And beyond that no enkrofo metimi akọ enkrofo a Bible says say ni adwuma ye no bonsam no adwuma nyesa. Enkrofo so-called campings and financiers ni use woman no. You see there are about 4 million in the supply in the chain.
Yeah.
Into true responsible cooperative mining and skills development program. Yeah, restricted security zone. No. Near your platform once you achieve correct one. And your community mining. community man ya edi mikuro mo abomusu din beto so na nso eronko adi na womu na eronko na sa honkwa nya no bi responsible cooperative mining that gives true meaning to community ownership. Said the same young people no a omuna obanfo be form ko se ezu no kwaye no yebenya a more reformed legal sustainable practice platform amomo a ometu no kwampa so na yesi be nyame de mfanti kodua mpo anu mbe de dipu mu a ada na sentence man ne go nja tisika wo so omo de mu ne disika wo. So the problem is not yebedi disika wo. The problem is kwamben yebetimi etu a emfa wo hauma, and that is what cooperative mining seeks to do.
Okay, nje when akoya no chire mu kakra sa cooperative no kwamben na befa so aya no te san
yakọ krobi to say gbani in the Galamsey area. Mrantie wo nyina pa adwuma ne biaye yakọ akọje asase yaye what we call exploration and prospecting. Identify say Adom TV free ha copy Adom FM hana boba no da ho na sika no wom yaje one small scale concession 25.2 acres of land.
Okay,
yaye community ni nyina rope in ya register omo ya ma omo nkrata, we guide them. First of all, workers no they omo comprehensive training. Secondly, large scale mining company what is a cardinal to say EL resources, they now become mentor to this cooperative. Inti omo kwampa o maye no mresantin ya large scale company mfa boni bia mre no guide them to also do the same thing. But what I say, that way we're able to monitor them to do the right thing. Beyond that, ownership on your community. So nananum rep. So we have what we call local supervisory committee, said in American. Nananum rep, small scale miners rep, youth rep, women rep, politically exposed persons in the area. What I say? Into ABR, MMDC's office, the minister's rep, cooperative, responsible cooperative mining, Sebe, the for rep, all the members of DISEC are representative. Omuna edu omudin be register. Omudin yedi register, but it's in the name because you cannot have the entire community name on the paper. You register momo, ya momo all what they need to mine responsibly. You hear they say ya. You free quiet no. You declare restricted zone umbra in a year or two. Aya habamono nsuo no anite no. Na mrantie no anka omuwo fie di anibre yese aboa no oka no anibre so. And a hungry man is an angry man and comparison ko say no. Na omuye well placed matter field. We ni hihye ya. Enti mampanin ka say ye nuru ho this nsuo no nyina ya ta chance no. Mampanin say per the security information and briefing no. The feel say and she say yeah egu akwamu a me ka ho bi a kire won Ghana for enough to get us of this from the woo so a beboa pa mansu no ani ate kwaye no be ya habam no mabunu be ya adwumaye na kuru no afa no ntomo pafra
ate mesa ba hobium na mamemfa Aaron so what a PRO what a president
menu udini e brace and a bruce
a brace
Fantefo na hunter for
me hunter ni pa
mo brof no anode
say brof no be 2 years first though.
Oh, I see.
You really Peter once.
Edi kind menchia me am krom for abrim constituency e ho na me mabunu dom frefo.
Oh, okay.
Youth organizer. Na abrim na me se me kase abrima ye wo nkruto aba me ensa bi agidin pa. E kote abo ahwa ye mobo ba ko na de. Membo so na
Wow, my guys, I am Pino.
Yes, that is my MP John Osefren Pon. You know, Charles says you could read na I take you over. Minia, say me in the idea, said you buy no cry your poster should say week in and why you juma wa bread. But Ghana hodo and then sema as ye can ye most topical. Most especially a ye Galamsey asema ye can and waseni. Na Galamsey no menye sure say and ke hun here can even the first topic. Because there were several topics are happening within the week. We covered DSTV4, near me, NDC, near me, MPP, money na sefo and Quebec wasem. But you see, the reality is that Galamsey no ain't affected MPP, inja NDC, and affected Emma, inja Emma. affect you nti wo centroni no se wo ye wa adwen se onka bi a ochene bi ne ba e ba ba yire me ne umie no so then it becomes a problem for all of us. Inti Galamsey de ba no matter the position you find yourself say wa ban mu uni aban mu say te ye nua security analyst na say na oka na asem no say wotena ba bi na massage story na be say wada but me nua na kasa na wotwe na adwen si so say why are they no pese or limited conversation and ansem a ye kan into the past 8 years say o pese ya amanyosema ye be yes amanyosem no I can have time for us to do politics na wo Galamsey hu hwan time na shaase hwan na chamfan nemre so chamfan ba yo medical si nsu ne na sefo nyina but enkosi baabia de ekosi ni se wona wonim to no ene edi wasi kunanim se to be queen di mfata na menu efata na mfa efata no kono enti whether Galamsey worsen in the past 8 years or not even that enye no correct because clearly you could clearly check the trajectory where Infonia Mwankasa join news for more posty for the first time in this country. Erastus Asaredonko, Mijidi se Ghana there, Ze Wabeye Galamsey general. Onamuchicha, Wamaya Tiasi for the first time in the history of this country. Mampeni Mahama, Odi Ghana Nimano, Nikrombole, Galamsey do. Say NCMBP Breso. It is telling you the devastation of it. And acting chief justice Yewra his lordship Paul Bafuboni no so clear say Galamsey no asay atia pese atete apansam kra. That is a reality. So o pese wo hear the politics of it usum kontompo fidia utwa jawadwo. It is staring in your face as obi a oye well meaning Ghanaian bia and oye Ghana ni a odwen on mine who be who say the Galamsey has deepened and worsened. You see the deepened and worsened whether 8 years or not, no, that is the state we are in. E affecting means we na minu no say important so yen ka say NDC by wa ya hwe han nti nsuo ni yete so ma MPP fo na yete so ma nsentro fo ana yete so ma camera fo yen ka say NDC fo na wa ban mu nti ye yomo de na aboden omo na sika na wo mu nti ye yomo de na aboden na ye ato no fofofo ye beto ne pe irrespective of anybody nti o ka Galamsey asema you put all these politics you would want to do. Who person your politics amanyosem na de amonyo ni bia betima ya amanyosem metima be detail tabi diti hwan nyina but yesi amfo wo na kire ne nto aso then na wo ye to the critical devastation stage me de ba ko twa to so an grants na mahu makọ president issue okan onu ankasa ne sector minister na so afọ ne ye adwuma peka say omo bae no omo ya de pan because omo chi nipa 1400 as compared to MPP 800. One day swafu mu a o reduce conversation ni to nipa ya che no. Na wonim nipa che sen Ekufuado. O chehye nkofo ejapade a hye ono ankasa ne National Women's Organizer ejapade. Enzo what is say wache empem baako ne ahanan a 1400 as compared to 800. It is a clear testament to the fact that acting chief justice and maybe Adom Babe chief justice mu nyina e kase ade na se na sei. So I say all time, don't do politics with it. We are man yourself on why you be able to try as man yourself no, and clearly the fact would expose you. Another thing American wants to say Galamsey you be too asia. Say you nya bibi a your friend of political will. Mam penina ye di to me na hye ne nsa no ebenya saa kukuduro e di opepa akase obey. Compare it to Ekufuado's actions. Wona wo kan enya mimpo na mekan no mpo correct you. Say okay 6 months Ekufuado bane small all form of small scale mining all form of for 20 good months bosome mako aduonu papa yi mo eba power unse o ba power na we campaigner o manifesto no potokasem ye say eye contraja wonni timamufo no esan kire wudumadi a obeye amenkire wo ye say agorobe so a ifra no pa point 19 point etoso dunkron ewo 120 day promise mo e come weti no one who say was there even a political will from the president or say ban illegal and new mining activities in forest reserves ade ni illegal meaning say Ghana for yem for aso nti wo ban ne you are putting nothing on nothing hwini ho na odi bibi kosi so nti wo ye den e beto fom Ekufuado ban all form of small scale mining. so that will be illegal mining ade no kura na mra ma ne ho kwan de dana wonim so wo de omumpo licenses eye de dano wo de omafra. So because you are banning something which the law actually prohibits, what are you doing? Check the level of performance of the president up till now. Clearly 9 months and you don't see any political will and commitment. So me say so CSO no. Opa busa eno na me Kesben. Da no na me Pan-African TV. I made it clear say it is a step in the right direction. At least mampenino empeso ye kwadefo otu na mumbi am ye hu say ampa opeso odigana fo adwen etimi hwe ma Galamsey etucha. So it is a step in the right direction. Me man be prophet of doom and be cast the mampeni aye na step in the right direction. We sure but yen hwe ne niye bia waye towards this point in see said the air con ubetmaye. Oshia meet the press. Oshia your friend saying central for look at his response he gave. And you see, let me even go back to their manifesto again. One of the promises the president himself made, I felt that is the lowest any president would do. Or say, Galamsey no, or very recompense no. Na oma yachi so mu tu form no. I di oma tu no, ubi yi oma babonte. Hey brace, me tell us same way me ref we ubuta me say.
But only point, if the fact that onche nipa now no sponsor operations no. Now watch the small boy on the side. The person who has the money wherewithal. Obako put before na babe.
Me that's it. Me babe chiro di enti am say me real ho. That is the question you should even ask me. Me nkase enkohwehwe campaign omu hia. Sebe ye say edue be fifia ebe ha wo. Ye ntwa so ye ye den. To ase. Na me babe to se me nua kaboro obi ibu na. Anase bibi ye na. Me nkase ade ni nsori ni so. Me ka so onsori ye so. Nyame adom ye hwehwe nipa mienu amoma end problem yi baako ehye because obi asoma no odi bone what you say nipa na osoma no nso edi bone nyame adom watima che de ohye fom no e de na akoto afiase that is solving the problem in part what solve fa e fa ne say obi akohwehwe omo ye campaign no na de oye campaign na osoma obi e ma ne call fom ko tu fom agudie no se wugya no na wotime che campaign na ono na waba abonten na nani akohu gold na sese ne campaign no eni ho no onim kwan a ye fa so di tu gold no obeye de onko fom won san ko tu gold ne bi mi busawo enti de oye no go se koda
but at least no anhye mu no extra a president who is willing to listen and implement ideas are go for the bemano not so
you see say o pretend say o maame yewu and now o catch say o maame nwi na o maame yewu a why na phone be bon ne dem I've mentioned over here say mampeni step to meet the press na meet CSO so no it's a step in the right direction. Remember try me case me MPP ninti I am speaking again but me can ne ye bia why to determine say asem na o ka no he is going to act on it or the be ye adwuma na hwe meet the press asem o kan o say Galamsey no musika kura ne e ba hinfa angase e ba o man yam so okay bibi say are you not encouraging it won share one out two form agudie no kutu pase omo nko so nye Galamsey no say osika na ba o man ni mo no benefit
so deploy so
but who deploy na wo bie wa no me soma o seko baby ko yaade na me bie ma no san ka kire omo yaade na masoma o sekotu omo so sa no me san so ka asem e be hye omo nkuran a na enye match do about nothing football for brofo. Okay. A matter do about nothing. So okay. You see, the president must show clear commitment on the state of emergency conversation. Brace, I want your cameras to capture me very well saying this. In power, MPP what power no, may argue against the measure of deploying state of emergency. My argument will be the same because I believe, say, we've not gotten there. But you see the point. Say NDC 4-year campaign, they campaign on one critical thing. Say, Mampeni Mahama is having the wherewithal, what ojina brane or experience or ye ababi into otine manase. Nyankopo amfanjo obia no, so afo ye o yama boa no ye deputy minority leader. Enom ye ne clear say for him state of emergency ne beboa. Na wo time na wo ho ne ene ade na say ma chief justice ah. Ka chief justice de na dwuma ye Galamsey. Oko Galamsey site. Oten cry na car motor moving straight ono kra de san enkran po na e difficult so be hwe kwa ho because motorcade the neck of the street say chief justice ehun say the issue is worse so MPP na ehun to and wo ka say here state of emergency and na asaya ye bubru amaboa e da wabam ade na yintimi declare that state of emergency sana medical ono an bu ne be wa ha o se ba bia onu ahwe ase no udu wa no aye den what obo MPP ban scale small scale in its entirety
okay
wo de da cry and abetra aka kire say wo be ban illegal mining e go see
me that's when Aaron asiedo entry na kawari me ba ho me mo ma nko zoom na membra why someone na appear is still with us Sammy so for our if the baz na oda ban otum oye na ma yenya the sort of result ayenya ye desire yes abaka sa asere kasa no I'm mute na yetumi yate onka ai
me pacho me that's otimenka
yes
okay that's fine so the army fees say yenyina no as a minor collective responsibility I want to say yemfa yemhipie ene odo I friend politically patriotism no enwene ye man ho kane ansana sebe yadwene yamanyoku ene yamanyosem ehun Minuano Piero no matter or mention say about 7,000 football pitch as we compare forest and devastation as I say no equivalent to that magnitude. Quite scary. Baby I import sa excavators no every but largely China and other countries no. Me gidi sa wo researcher unhunu say omo kra no omo nsase omo say no to that extent so edienti na ye so soft and so lackadaisical na ye massage situation no ebe kwatia ye ne ankasa oman no ye ni ayam hihie e ma ye ho to what extent na ye be twen na akimpens na omo sika no as a woman, the first thing we need to do is say, can't the national security identify these people and advise the president strictly? Say organized crime such as illegal mining there, and it is so much serious to say. Yeah, identify one more play key roles in the financiers and easy to identify them because obi our import excavator and as a part of excavator can find anyone Eddie Babiano or Yakono has a clear identity. The bill of lading, wherever the destination is, we know. So we can identify these big guys and try to censor them. Naya Maomatia says, first and foremost, baby our minor drew no. Yenina ye ni brain yes stopping no. Enti at the port mpo and says a ma excavator extra the port limit, the jurisdiction, the environment of port, and says a ma excavator extra ho. And so yetimi escorto excavator e free tema port e do kronumwa na a divert forest. Ye dada ye ho. And me background no the minimum say si anya careful sta okunwe ya na MPP NDC and obi tena so 8 years obi so about 9 months and I say minua yes say ye minor unconsciously we are destroying the country ni anhwe ya mabunu no ayese ye pese ye bo mo pay adwuma ye no na enu nti ye be krakra wo mo no the next 10 years e mabunu no omo be dane atitrafo e dia kwanti ayen because omo nam kwan we ya so omo sua tuoto they are learning about guns ammunition and other things in a clandestine way enunti sa minor omampani no etroya na so anso cd na afei de o se use brute force afei de obetu omo so sa obeye state of emergency and I say a soldier for no call omo so a omo nya soldier for no de besie ni The first point in say, just stop it. These tools no a omode co forest no, just stopping our ports. Just stopping no ewo ho. Afei dia yen hunu nyina no yen enfan free forest num. Now, me nuane say Akufo-Addo ban illegal mining and small scale mining 2 years no sunsan so papa ben e buy. Me tell say me yemu shame. 2 years and I said 20 months no. Can't we have evidence to show that at least we had some water bodies and recover here? From that point, you know, it means the lack of the political will is the canker. And let's look at it from that perspective. Say, my condemn or ban illegal mining and small scale mining 20 months. In fact, so be a and because there's no need. Since so the honor se fin come 1 month. A year Daniana 1 month in the you will see the color of the water has changed. So indeed, if we take these bold measures and not trying to massage and want to satisfy our political interests, we will achieve something. I am speaking from the kind of perspective of security person, that what we are heading towards, it is dangerous for us as a country. It is dangerous for us to have our political interests over the interests of the totality of Ghanaians. I didn't know, yes, sir. To what extent? Now, you import 2 excavators every China bar. Ye dear dancer say, ye walk. Land size of about 7,000 football pitches. Ya say no, ya destroy no. Na so ko China ho mo excavator na bisa. Na mabun say young men and women, we sit on TV and we defend this. We talk with it as if that is the only way people can survive. The president said we have about 4 million young people who depend on these activities. And you know, does that suggest to say, 4 million, no, we cannot think outside the box for them to have a sustainable life? Galamsey has been very much active in the last 15 years. Prior to that 15 years, you know, na Ghana for me bunumaba ni mrantie. Before that period, no, how were they surviving? How were they living? Couldn't we have more measures? You better discourage you almost say, or minor, your policy ni say, we are not interested in depleting our forests and our water bodies. Therefore, let's encourage the young people to go into artisanal works like plumbing, mason, carpentry, mechanics, and other things. So that we sponsor them, we pay their fees and other things to make sure, say, we develop comprehensive human development policy for these young people. So our political commentators, we should be very careful. Very, very careful not to say, oh, many appointments, I must massage the situation and try to pamper the ego of people in the interest of my political party. Queer be 8 years, you will exit, and then you come back and you want to complain, say, situation is worse. It means you have been very much hypocritical and you didn't love the country. You don't want the good of this country. And it pains me, it hurts me.
Samuel Nana Pia Medase, he is a security analyst, and on the Mono. And the Sami Medase, you ever say Edin Como, you one at a time. Yeah, but call for break. Naya Banemo Mahmoud now, Paso Casambianza. 1 minute till we are now, so say call for break.
No, we can't break, brother.
I'm in Cobra. Mate, and some of those.
The didn't say I didn't so young.
But you see, I am watching a drone footage of River Buttrey now. I wish Senka at the TVs now should be. Look, this
is in which district?
Hunter West.
Well, groom.
Yeah.
Account.
This we make call basic school. Now see we are Sanum.
I was in Agunan Quanta 3 days ago.
Okay. Ukosha engineer Kofiedu.
Chiefs, yes.
Okay.
Chiefs and people of the area with the coordinator of the responsible cooperative mining.
Okay.
That is how I say you see alternative measures. Because look, dealing with it. National Apprenticeship Program. Jumaura. We're doing all the policies that gives alternative livelihood to people. But senior, the wire Galamsey who 10,000.
Oh yes.
Yeah, sure. So it means we have to create alternative within that sector. And that is why your pennies are me on tears here. I've not said President Akufo-Addo declare moratorium now. I'm fan for Swama. We saw some stability improvement and all of that. But beyond that, what happened? So I was in your effort to remember it's not a one-stop venture. It should be a multi-pronged approach. And that is exactly what we're doing. Multi-pronged. Now we're creating alternative livelihood for these young people. That cannot be said to me, I'm justifying Galamsey. No.
Okay.
I'm not. And the same way in the coming days, Galamsey betimiama who you are by a crew. The same way lack of jobs. And look at it being to me trying to do 10 years time like a camp. So we must be circumspect with the issue we're talking about.
I'm going to break it, but maybe wrap up on the Galamsey issue, then we delve into the sexual harassment issues PAP in some of our senior high schools. Only enter na yeba isia. Memo akwa ba emfa umbra Nnawotwe dwumadi so ewa Adom TV. Me pese me bom modern na me kan wadwinkyere ni bia wode aba show so enana pay na afi etumi ewo so koyenim. A lot of you have sent in a lot of messages. Now this one we say member of the MPP media patriot, Galamsey is getting worse under this government. No one can convince me that Galamsey is going down under this government. It is rather getting worse. Greetings to Dr. Baumia, Chairman Owusu Bempa of Inshaya, so Kojo Bamba, National First Vice Chairman, hopeful, and Honorable Amwa Ewukwa, Central Regional MPP Secretary, hopeful, Oyibi Boating, Nahiribehi, and anyway by let me see. I think we say, hey, Minia Alampine, you can lie, MPP communicators. Are you the Alampine guy? Whatever Alampine. Also, you guys did nothing about Galamsey Menes during your era. Richard Soji Hockey.
Oh,
and I do it by
no crucify me live national television.
Okay. Emmanuel Athatewia said, please, Mr. Host, please let the MPP pundit get to know that by the time we place a ban on small-scale mining in this country, that was the same time our gold reserves was going up. So the question is, where was the gold coming from if there was indeed a ban on small-scale mining under MPP? If they really wanted to fight illegal mining, why did they pass the LI 2462 in the first place? Into question Emmanuel Athatewia, Eddie Bisa, and our Facebook. No. Also, bet me a comment on our homefa Namakan, Mobia, so etmiate near watch. Yes, Mahmoud, now, or so
first, Midway Aaron. With the
MP, say 5 minutes or
just one higher, and it will be or can be said or can MP higher. Say under President Mahama's regime, second term, and a Galamsey, I started with Savannah region. This is one of when he was the lands minister. Sabreno, Assassia at the door, in Sua, you could yin woman, not Galamsey for Diaboso. You know, when he said me could school or ballers in your high, okay, in the Savannah region. Even those days. Communities like Dakurupe, communities like Badam Kwanta, Tuntumba,
what we've been able to get the River Butre video, no? This is it. And the Butre, and this I Nanga first a pristine, a ponano efe, way bridge way Hunter West.
Oh, groom.
Enti Oko Butrea, baby a yehu kitwa a sport be. And you know, bridge be that's why a linky chrono edicor the resort I wore ponano no.
Okay.
We nanka ye pristina yede canoes efa we so ntuko canoe rider ofa no hanam we so no mangrove area no aba and they say yes ya ye So terrible.
But me sure say uko munche.
Mikrom, onche. Butwe kra.
Last year's now.
Oh yes. Oh me mikrom dey make up.
So this challenge has festered for a while, right?
Yes.
But
equalization.
As of the, I think 2 or 3 months ago when I was there, Benz, I say, it's one thing we should know. Edru baby a pono, et me pia, and she way back.
High tides.
Edru baby so na river no, I take it. So that is what is happening.
This is all abra pono high tides was right.
Oben say what at it.
They be out doing a high tides.
No, yes.
But na me catch us say me wo agona kwanta bodwe ase hene ankasa na botre.
Botre.
Hene na ankasa no. And the chief was so genuine with the issues. So no cre na we sorry is here per say ye bra ye mabunu nyina. Na so ka de kopim ne say adwuma wen. And I feel no, I'm just quoting the Nana. I'm ranting the tree foul also. It is a cooperative, responsible cooperative mining back. Ni bit man no. I'm on my passoa. It's a welcoming idea. Nana requested for a district geological officer to identify by beer. Ranting say man so far. Engagement here with cooperative mining, both chief is somebody that want making genuine contributions. And someone name our he's really concerned about the situation there. Just like and many are buying in our concern. And yes, we are tackling the issues and Mijidi say, and yeah, fair, and yeah, baby, this morning, Mijidi says she shall pay work and a pen of TSA, Okobutre. There's some fantastic resorts. Oh
yes.
I say January so back close it down. We going go for number.
Are the resort?
So me person me bonnet because resorts no door so. One of them is about to close down
because of Galamsey.
Yes.
Okay. But you see,
do crew was a time Aaron.
So say Galamsey no.
Black Savannah Galamsey and starting and
can't join news for because they mentioned I have that footage. I'm speaking on join news for
opening mo be ko cassette ya na antia wa wo be chire bu no wa cassette ya me you have to use
brother mo small for be catch join news because say about events then say ne comprehension
money for the time
also
me say she sign a patch or say and Mahama pencil and a Galamsey started a Savannah region. It has been with us and we are doing all we can as our mind see be to us here. 1, 2, Brace. Galamsey are Western. Is it backed by any parameters, Anna? Are there any metrics? And now you catch yourself. Areas here deploy blue water gas. Even turbidity has improved. Now you catch yourself. Forest under President Kufuor. Na Galamsey fuaji abosukita akonde ese na me nua penny security expert in Ekano. And then we are repossess all those forests to the state. So how come now na Galamsey fuaji ekwaye abosu no? Galamsey was okay and na entiate and then why ya je from nsemo a ye bo ho ban ma oman no ahwe CSO adua and na Galamsey atiate. I don't know the metric I use. That also be and President Mahama asemo kan ye on TB da say also be yin krofo afri prison. Na say yakwa chinipa mienu so omo ye bone na ye jai de ono na bone no fa no ho pa na de ono ko petro bone de na koto afiase. Look at from Pom Watson report. From party penifu report no implicate omo yet ya chinipa ba kokora na so abrante no free man so abore o free cloth o free tuntumba no ono de na koto afiase. Mampani said that was only a fair platform and it has changed because yechi abrante na otwi excavator no na the auto excavator no echa ma wuntu me no ono so yechi no. So we are arresting both the operators and the cartel owners, the financiers. Until we are doing it differently.
But what cartel ni be na mo achi no.
Yechi chama wuntu me. He is a cartel. He is a Galamsey kingpin. And ono and na 2022 Abuja for listen well. Me can someone with 2 billion much say 2022 asema Abuja for be kan ye Abanwe has justified, vindicated that position. Say, Woon to me has made illegal entry to the Liberty Forest. Adianche, President Akufo-Addo won't come bound when the Bawade. He has not been to the field. He challenged the minister who has been to the field. Said, Minister Samuel Kamboa, now won't to me here legal mining. How was he able to tell? When he has not even been to the field. But someone here can wahano. But
where's Ayesu River, for example, the turbidity levels, jump from 14,000 in 2024 to 94,000 today.
We have areas where turbidity, we have seen elevated turbidities. No two ways about that. But areas are deploy 1, NIMOS, 2, blue water gas. Say, when we expand these government strategies, results not in these areas, and we'll get the same results in those areas. And that is the focus of government. Just 30 seconds. Let me just land for Assembly of Assembly of Canada, we are no a cocoa from your manifesto. But state of emergency, what is all to your manifesto? That is how it does it. The situation today does not warrant the state of emergency.
The insincerity of this NDC government, any of my appendages are a bad TV so a better Kasachre Ghana for a money ya. As a Ghana for sebi, we cannot even reason to ye ning kwechiri. Oga Jeremy say a new manifesto munti swafo na no ye deputy minority leader and na ya ne swafo okwensa asem so ka say state of emergency mu hia no ye ntontwene. Are you at all, please?
General Secretary ka say
please. Yeah, campaign a person like the deputy minority leader say something and you are telling me say me emfa nyadwuma. Yemfa asem ne tra. Who ye campaign deputy minority leader na ya ne soafo a oso ote assassin sem ase say ye here state of emergency me ye mfa nyadwuma kabore hey you Ghana for damase mo de mo kan sem ni wi a say no NDC for country Ghana for say o kan nsem nyina wi a oba betwere o paper so say fa Mahama de ye adwuma me mfa sami je mfidi ye adwuma fa we but mo kan he was ignoring to their benefit na the vote ibrahim brace sansem bi say na so okay so ukroma botre man we yen so no be say kra abutre facha butre be say kra broso o ka kire yen nyina Ghana fo ama nsentrefo Ghana fo etie nyina ne say NDC fo bi kasa me emfa nya adwuma ye won kofo ile ye adwuma ye do ma se say ni mo manifesto mo ba nya adwuma. That is what you are saying. Please maminka asemminchiro minia wo hwe nsem a o ka no mo ye alternative hwan whichever alternative thing no me gitum say o hwe Galamsey obi o de ne ho akɔhye Galamsey no what you say o man alternative livelihood be it should be within the same framework e betima boa no amanaye but me problem me wo pan say this alternative livelihood program they okase e boss wa ye betima boa na wo gba adwumawura no kra de one me make the you start for Ghana Enterprise Agency and then I say for air who programs are working MPP denial and a lot of alternative programs by so you are only making it madani and madani edini keke na mode yedwuma but that is fine you are over homodin in that sector but my point is say over homodin no element within the party ni titiri mampenina nkasa kasa bi shouldn't encourage people to go and do Galamsey and that is the problem and then okase Galamsey asaya. Do you know what the NDC tells you? Is it backed by a certain data? And a Ghana phone call with data. Data ben the same say, wow, so I say near odi untalk with him. Say, Obi or Galamsey, a terrorist. Nadia na say. Sreni na wow power no is a kennel boa. Or Cassie, a 1 hour Galamsey for no, only a terrorist. Only a man before. Na adienin kosra. Who pay data na then a man penny free CSO for so mumra no muninkomo. And no betra betre o ma informa de enye o ma sema o mo ka enye serious here da mase na for da mase o chena bi mo ka say e behwe mu yi wa ba betra o man penny na o soma aso asrafo no sa ka kire say Galamsey sika no ye di ne ye man ya no enti enye Galamsey enti entoko so nye Galamsey ana
You see, the reality is that I've always maintained the position. Say, you talk also you the MPP, you the NDC. Brace, you in 2 years 9 anymore. You will remain grounded at one point. But what did to me responsibility? Need to say we need be aware within this 9 months. No, and why? And nuntina. One phrase CSO for someone count. Now me say Enra, I was quite disappointed in some of the CSOs. But me single out nipa be me no me nse bia bom din kenashigbe. You see me enkate ye ba ko say a ese nkwan ni nyina. Sa na nkate ye ba ko nso ye papa, e man kwan no so ye de. E ye de. I'm just giving the vice versa of it. Now the point I'm making is that Kenashigbe was able to stand in the room to make a certain position and tell the president clearly that baby I do not say we need a definite roadmap. And then Sembia Obeka ebe encourage uni master say mampeni Mahama aside all cars will be or mom be free your friend is a prison or mom to Galamsey free prison also the AI ebe fight Galamsey and so many yet na multi punch AI na dey on kan waze
onte onim
nti AI na mo dey where they
we are doing what we call technology and innovation. Geofencing and geotracking with AI induced. And then legal small scale mining biano. Or excavator no infuse what we call AI induced cheat. A bit my recognize or concession boundaries. You see, the moment I excavate, no one else me to let me come. You want explanation?
Watch him. Now another point I'm making. So is the way they do that. As Mampenino would as Abino would clearly see whether you were encouraging this Galamsey or not. We were in this country, and our lawyer Penny, Attorney General say, or the party executive, or national organizer, and a first vice chairman or say, or a vice chairman, a banga, Yami ni a banga, eko yuko. E ye wun to me na open a chin and kahumachi. What's to mass raf what is a wound to me, ukra bomb, and odinam wiase. Wakochino. Say Obama puku ase hea branti, me krame wo honam saying. Ye call ne ho ye say ye hwehwe 3 a.m. no abeboa investigation. Kochini freedom and Yami India no. We are century need. One of the questions we should be asking they say Yami ni abanga no omako yoko. Omako yoko.
But that's yenko anymore.
O tra o na we are now o de koso aka profo da geofence.
Nnawotwe na watch dwumade.
Geofence
ewo Adom TV. Yewie Galamsey na. Yewie Galamsey na. Yenko yenim na.
Minister the video the
yenko
state of emergency.
Sexual harassment in schools.
Minister,
yes.
not a Boma.
Okay, sexual harassment how many minutes? So obi quite lovely. When they come man, you see.
Love no kan was him.
Me kana.
Obago school obi ti baby me and no food pop. No kan was him.
The one is on the koda yem.
Eh.
Enti me ba ko school no sentete ya me man fie no so eka brabo obo no school. We discuss extensively. But na person me the man no.
Does that tell minister eka state of emergency? The kosuwa bube.
What's when you da for sabba for time. What's some can you know say Ghana funtie. But make decision say no Catholic Bishops Conference no more programmers. As I'm kind. Osimhen Penny after listening to your Minister of Lands, we now acknowledge that something good is happening. They can play the video. But CDT said it is premature to declare state.
CDT never.
Ora president so then Penny na to that's cool. It's premature. Musulmi kuo.
I have a man count you say.
The Mahama more a bit me aboa am here to Galamsey ase. Mo answer ndre for mo penny. GJA president. O say nya nra. No wonim say san hye power nyina ewu akwan mu.
Okay.
Man penny ni aban no pass out.
Is about e so aban get so aban mu.
Me that's it.
Is about e so aban get so aban mu. Me ni nya dey na otuna. Enzo so obi ti aka dey ni krom. Ni krom so so ka dem me ni obi ya. Me na we ya. Me na abedo 14 na on ma o tibili mu ko eduma no na ya.
Sabore any error me that's it. Me da mo say.
Yes, obi so say. Yes. Obi so say o say o ti ya obi ya.
So no say that be.